Hi everybody, I'm Chris. I'm the Blue Collar Bear Gourmet. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, if you are returning, welcome back. This channel is put here for the purposes of reviewing craft beers that don't break the bank. I like drinking craft beers, I like reviewing craft beers, and I don't like paying a whole lot of money doing it. Now today's selection is from a brewery out of Utah. I gotta admit, this brewery is very hit or miss with me. Either I'm crazy about their beers, or I don't think much of them at all. I actually have had today's selection before. I had a sample of it at Tenaya Creek, and if you're here in Las Vegas, I strongly recommend you check out Tenaya Creek. Go to the Creek Geeks Facebook page, and don't forget hashtag the Creek Geeks LV. Anyway, so I was at Tenaya Creek. I had a sample of this from the can. And at the time, I only gave it a 2.75, which means on Untappd, out of a 5-point scale, that's not very high. Expanding upon that, 3 of my friends on Untappd have tried this and given it a cumulative score of 3.17, which ain't particularly high either. And 2,401 of us have given it a score of 2.82, still not very high. What's more, Beer Advocate had 24 reviews, giving it a cumulative score of 3.16. On Beer Advocate scale, that's an okay ranking. Okay. Now, one more thing I'm going to address about this can, aside from the fact that it is 2 months before the Best Buy date, so I'm well within range. But I looked all over this can. As you can see, I'm going to show you on this can, there's all kinds of writings, and there's this over here, and we got all kinds of stuff back here, and blah, 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 and all this other great things, and you know, brewed with renewable power, and hats off for that. And we got hops and malt scale. I'm going to show you that here, and you know, all this wonderful stuff. You know what we don't have on here? We don't have an ABV. Anybody who's watched this channel before knows I have a real problem with brewers who don't put ABV on their cans or bottles. Not cool, gang. Not cool. Very irresponsible. Very irresponsible. Considering the industry wants people to drink responsibly, one of the things that is important and imperative for you brewers to do is put your ABV on the bottle or can. Give somebody an idea of how much alcohol they're consuming when they drink one of your beers. And that's something that people need to be bearing in mind. And when you don't put it on there, that's irresponsible. Here's the other thing to that. I went to their website. Guess what? Uinta doesn't have this in their beers. If they do, they're doing a pretty good job of hiding it, because I looked all over their selection of beers. Didn't find it there. When I go to Untappd, it claims that the ABV is 5%. When I go to Beer Advocate, it claims the ABV is 4%. We could solve that problem if y'all who brewed the beer would have just put the ABV on it. So yeah, I've got a chip on my shoulder about that. I don't like that at all. I don't like brewers who fail to put the beers on there. Now this particular can cost me $2.29, which as far as I'm concerned is still around the $2 price range. I like to bring beers in at $2 or less, but 29 cents over, as I see it, that's still within the $2 price range. Basically, if it comes under $2.99, it's still within the $2 price range as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, going to be cracking this bad boy open. I'm going to be using my Sam Adams glass. I'm going to show you, wow, I actually watched this last night, and I'm seeing, I don't know what got on that, but fortunately it's on the outside, it's not on the inside. Always be sure to have a clean glass. Try to use the correct glass. I like to use the correct glass when I drink a beer. The thing is, this is just a fruit ale. If you go, as I said, you can't find it on the website, so there's no explanation as to what kind of ale it is, whether it's, say, a blonde or what have you. But, wow. Holy cow, I'm not sure what got on this, because I actually washed this by hand last night, and there's something on the outside of it, but as I said, it is on the outside. If you have one of these glasses from Sam Adams, and you've ever wondered about this little nub right here, that is specifically to take in the bouquet of your beer. And when I have a fruit ale like this, that doesn't really claim to be any particular variety of beer, I like to use this glass because then I get I have a glass that's specifically designed for me to smell the bouquet. And what you are seeing is considerably darker than the actual beer is itself. It's much more golden than that. You're seeing sort of a copper color on the camera. So it is not coming through on camera very well. I'm going to describe that as Well, I'm going to say that's high carbonation. There's actually a lot of carbonation on that. That head seems pretty flimsy to me. I bet it won't be long before it's gone. Bubbles are bursting rather quickly. And it's got a little bit of haziness. Now, before I even bring it for the beard wipe, I can say I'm smelling apple. I mean, big time, just apple, like apple cider. If you've ever been out on the apple orchard and you smell that just apple smell, that's exactly what it smells like. So, and more apple, and I'm gonna use my little nub here to give this a whiff. And more apple. And you know what's really nice about this apple is that it's sweet apple. It's not, there's no vinegary smell to it because it doesn't take but just the slightest bit, and you can end up with vinegary smell to your apple. This is not the case. See, the head's already gone, so as best I can show you, that head is pretty much gone. It's a rather flimsy head. Okay, gonna turn this in the way that it doesn't have whatever garbage was on the outside of my glass. Boy, I really don't know what that is. It was on a dish. It was on a drying rack last night, and so there's no telling what that is. Well, it's a fruit ale. It's not even particularly packed with flavor. It's a little spiky in the mouthfeel, but there's not a whole lot of flavor to this. I'm not even sure that this would make a good beer cocktail beer. Sometimes I think some of the fruitier beers lend themselves towards that. You know, a beer where you can start with sort of a fruity base and then add spirits to it. But I don't even know that this would be good for that. This is almost like drinking seltzer water. Frankly, I gave it too high a score at 2.75 before. I would give it a 2.5. It would get the 0.75 for being in a can, but it loses that for not having the ABV. As I've said it before, I'll say it again. You don't put an ABV on your beer, you're going to lose points with me. And I don't make any apologies for that. That's part of being a responsible brewer in order to be a responsible drinker. So, gang, until next time, drink good beer, don't break the bank doing it, and if you like this, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Cheers.